One nation under the gun. Yeah. One nation under the gun.
Wake up, it's the first of the month.
Yeah.
Hope in my pocket, smoke in my lungs. Free all the leaves, run to the preacher, tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Scars on my heart, but the gold's in my head. From the Bay to LA, I'm carrying the weight. They love you, they hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 where the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edits, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's a maze. Every step that I take and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to dub, but my win. Lost some homies in the game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Sign my name on the dotted line, blood on the deal. From the block to the White House, dodging all these traps. Got my city on my back, put my pain in the rap. Now I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make them stop instead. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, let the preacher say grace. Every scar on my soul is a story to trace.
Wake up, it's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoke in my lungs. Free all the leaves, run to the preacher, tell him the victory's already won. All the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Move through the dark where the power's concealed. Every promise they make is part of the deal. Got hope on the chest and the weight on my back. In the land of the free and the chains on my back. They watching my steps, trying to box my glow. I'm dodging these snakes, keep my eyes on the goal. 1600 where the truth gets blurred. I'm speaking my pain, every bar, every word. From the town to the Ave, I'm repping my roots. Turn my losses into lessons, now I'm flipping that truth. Preacher said it's done, but the war's still alive. I'm the king of my fate, watch you thrive and survive. I'm walking through the fire where the vipers hide. Tearing up the stage where the truth don't hide. Hope in the grip and the system's device. Making all these moves, yeah, rolling like a dice. Now I'm stretching my vision, trying to break through the lies. See the pain in the city, hear the streets when they cry. Texting my dream, trying to dim my light. But my heart's on the mission, let it burn all night. From the block to the Ave, I'm the voice of the lost. Pay the price for my freedom, never count that cost. Preacher said that we won, but the battle's my own. The land of the snakes, I'm dead to my throne.
Wake up, it's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoke in my lungs. Free all the leaves, run to the preacher, tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Alright, let's get this show started in the week on a high note. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly why we are here, alright? It doesn't take long to do what we're doing. Good morning, Casey. Nice to see you. Alright, Alicia, nice to see you.
I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle. It's like I'm stuck in time. It's like a curse. And I can't escape it. It's like deja vu. It's me, Zeus. It's deja vu when I'm running up the rest. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage, the game's full of gas. I play the game so well, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room, screaming how we made it.
I see you out there.
I'm supposed to happen when
Let's
you
go.
get your famous. The algorithm turned into a maniac.
Yes, I guess they're going viral cause my Zodiac.
I got all these rappers on my spreadsheet.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie, tell him.
And if they is my ex, that mean they love me. They don't get me calls if they text me.
I say it with my chest
cause I mean it.
Wow.
Got
God
a
must
lot
be
of
happy too.
confidence and I'm conceited.
Alright, let's go.
Call me the master with a move with.
God.
I'ma take off in a spaceship.
Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone
Here
to
goes my
the
favorite
zoo
part.
since I was a couple of days. That shit was
Keep it clean,
radical.
please.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone, Zeus has gone way off the
rails.
It's like deja vu.
Oh, you got me.
It's like deja vu.
You got me.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
I guess so. All right. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are gathered here this lovely Friday morning. What is today? December 5th, 2025. Once again, we're going to do the real work it takes to save W Alter Ego. I haven't seen you in a while, but I've been on my backup, but thank you, all right? You're doing the right thing. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, you know why we're here. We're here to help bring Americans back to reality by virtue of bringing this guy right here, the most incompetent person on earth and dangerous at the same time, right? Donald Trump's poll numbers back to where they belong, which is not earth, it's actually hell, all right? And so before we get started with today's show, I just got to go ahead and take care of some very, very important housekeeping items, especially for those of you, this might be your first time tuning in. I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H, all right? And why do they call me Triple H? Actually, there's the Rizzler too, all right? Why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I am the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. I'll say it if it needs to be said. Sometimes I'll try to be nice about it, but in a lot of, especially when you're dealing with Trump voters, you just got to say it very plainly, all right? So that's the first H. The second H is because I am humble. With being honest, there's also the acknowledgement, right, that you're a human being. Listen, we're all humans, right? No one's perfect. You got to always leave yourself a way out of situations. And so the humility part is because, number one, I know I'm not a perfect person, so that's never going to be an issue. If I made a mistake, I got to own it. That's accountability. But I got to leave myself a way out because I don't think being humble is a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, right? And so that's why I'm humble. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's out of all three of them, right? Because it allows me the opportunity to really confront people using a strategy they're not built to handle. It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Thank you. Yeah, so what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen, is, like I said, bring down. Oh, wait, by the way, I got to say this. If you're watching the replay of this video on YouTube, make sure you like the video and you share the video. Especially send it out to all of your family and friends that are, good morning, Morningstar. Send the video out, especially in YouTube, because that's really where a lot of the nasty stuff happens. Send it to your most conservative friends, all right, family members. I promise you, after they watch one show of me, they'll thank you. There's a lot of imitators out there, all right? And there are a lot of people, I've been noticing it, they don't want to give me the credit. And I'm like the godfather in a way of just being the original Rizzler out here. There's a lot of folks out here, both sides of the aisle. What do? They imitate Big Zeus. They try to take the sauce and cook it up the way that I cook it up, but they'll never be able to cook it up quite like I do because they don't got all the three H's that I got. And there's more out there, but I won't get into that. And so just be on the lookout. Many are called, but guess what? Only a few are chosen, and I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one. And so along those lines, ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest about what this show is about. Yeah. So what I do is we hold a mirror up to Donald Trump and his supporters, and we make sure they understand. By the time we get done talking, right, I had a good friend of mine, Cosmo. He came up here. I actually think I'm making a lot of headway with Cosmo, all right? They're being a little more calm now, and they're understanding now that crashing out isn't going to save the MAGA movement. It's not, by the way, because the MAGA movement is basically, it's a ticking time boom boom. A ticking time boom boom. It's on self-destruct mode. And guess what? I've been a part of it, all right? I've done it. And all I've been doing is telling the truth. So we highlight MAGA's hypocrisy so that they can understand that there's a couple of things that's going on in America right now. Number one, we do not allow Trump voters, ladies and gentlemen, to be victims around us because every single thing that they have complained about, they've mumbled and grumbled about, we have evidence to prove that that's not true. They really don't have an issue with it. And a good example of it, for instance, would be they claim they have a problem with criminals. Have y'all ever heard Trump voters say this? They have a problem with criminals. Have y'all ever heard them say this? And then I'm going to go ahead and take care of the Thunderdome part. Have y'all ever heard Trump voters say they have a problem with criminals? Y'all ever heard law and order? Yeah. And then didn't they turn around and go vote for the worst criminal? Didn't they do that? W. Zeus, right? No new wars. No new wars. And now we got what did they say? A third of the military or armed services are in the Caribbean right now. These folks, he solved all these wars But we're about to go to war. Nobody buys what MAGA is selling, all right? And so what I'll say is this. If you're a Trump voter out there listening to me, do me a favor. Leave this show right now. You don't got to make little videos of me. You don't got to host lives about me. Oh, Zeus hurt my feelings. And I sit there and I say, all this macho alpha behaviors, but and Zeus doesn't bother me. This is how they. And then I go and I look and I see they're on live and they're hosting lives and they're saying I hurt their feelings, and I said, listen, just don't come to the show no more because it's not for you. You know, sometimes you see your family and your friends doing things and you'll say, listen, you can't drink out of that cup. That's not for you. All right, W Zeus. So I'll say this. If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between, do me a huge favor and leave this show right now because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned,
True.
If you hate our country,
And you do.
if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not happy in the U.S.,
Yeah.
if you're complaining all the time,
Right.
very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed, and I take no responsibility for how the sparks might be flying, how people's feelings might be hurt. You know, we're going to do what we got to do and then get up out of here, all right? And so what I want to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is, you know, yesterday was an extremely busy day. I got in and out as quick as I could, but, you know, I'm monitoring what's been going on, and I just had to say, okay, now, this is when you know things are getting out of control in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. What happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, there was so much that happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. But where I want to start out with is this revelation that the person we've been looking for the past 4 years that planted those boom booms on the Capitol on January 6th, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, they claim they've found this person, right? Does anybody out there believe the suspect that they found is the actual suspect? If you do, please, I want to talk to you. But what we'll do is we'll go through what the DOJ and the FBI put out yesterday, and then we'll get to judgment. And I got the lake of fire ready, all right? It's on standby. I just got to listen to them try to convince everyday Americans. I don't believe it either. I'm listening to them trying to convince us all. This is what they tried to convince me of yesterday. You know, I'm out. You know, I'm out to and fro in the kingdom. I'm out to and fro in the kingdom, and I get an alert. This is the person that did it. I mean, wow. That's what I did initially. I said, please. Who found him? Cash Patel found him. Cash? Isn't he supposed to be the person that, hold on, no, I can't do any of this bad. Isn't Cash supposed to be finding the person that unalived CK? What about Pam Bondi? You know, did she ever get around to releasing those e-files? Isn't Cash already caught up in a lot of these scandals, flying his girlfriend and her friends around like they had a non-stop party or something, like they've been hanging out with Diddy? I shouldn't say it, but Diddy's popular, trending now. But yeah, I'm sitting there going, so they had all this time to do all those other things and then turn around and find this suspect. And so I said, let's go back to this this press conference that they put out, and I'll help you understand why this is just all unbelievable in my opinion.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. As you all know now, early this morning, Brian Cole Jr. was arrested and charged with placing the pipe bombs at the RNC and the DNC on January 5th, 2021. He has been charged with violating 18 U.S.C. 844, which is use of an explosive device. This investigation is ongoing. As we speak, search warrants are being executed, and there could be more charges to come. I'm going to let our U.S. Attorney discuss that shortly. This was the work of multiple agencies working together. This morning's operation was carried out safely and successfully. We know that there are so many issues when you're issuing search warrants. dangerous things can happen. And this was carried out safely and securely thanks to all of the people standing around me. They have worked tirelessly on this. Today's arrest happened because the Trump administration has made this case a priority. The total lack of movement on this case in our nation's capital undermined the public trust of our enforcement agencies. This cold case languished for 4 years until Director Patel and Deputy Director Bongino came to the FBI.
Wow.
The FBI, along with U.S. Attorney Pirro and all of our prosecutors, have worked tirelessly for months, sifting through evidence that had been sitting at the FBI with the Biden administration for 4 long years. Let me be clear, there was no new tip, there was no new witness, just good, diligent police work and prosecutorial work, working as a team along with ATF, Capitol Police, Metropolitan Police Department, and of course, the FBI. We are working every day to restore the public's trust. We hope that today is a significant step towards that progress. We'll share more information when we can and when it unfolds. I cannot stress enough how hard Director Patel and Deputy Director Bongino have worked for months to make our nation's capital safer and to make our country safer. I'd like to introduce now Director Patel.
I got to stop that right there real quick, ladies and gentlemen. So what the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, just did is she just said a bunch of fluff words. But Pam, explain to me, honestly, I'm a black man in America, how this brother that you claim did this went undetected, outsmarted everybody on earth for 4 years, Pam. I mean, seriously. And you just said there's no new evidence, no witnesses. So now I'm flabbergasted. I mean, and they say that this is a person that has special needs, right? I mean, and I said, okay, y'all really going above and beyond to pin this on a brother. And no witnesses. And this is what's been taking up Kash Patel's valuable time? You mean to tell me it's not him flying around on the private jet? It's not what happened to CK, and now we're finding out his, significant other is benefiting off of this jet that's flying around him and their girlfriend. He's doing all that. But while all that's happening, Kash is also meditating on how to find this person. And we all know, based on how I've been covering Jan.6 for a while, we know all of that was linked to Donald Trump. We know all of this was linked to Donald Trump and his administration, all right? Look at all the 1,600 people. And now you're trying to convince me this just by happen chance, this just happened to randomly happen on the same day Donald Trump tried to overthrow the government? I've never been so insulted, but it's not me, I understand. I know that she's saying this to the MAGA base because we understand that they don't think things through all the way. So that's her getting in, laying the foundation, and then she sends in tiny Kash Patel because he's honestly a very short person. I didn't know Kash was so short. But listen to how Kash tries to, once again, pin all of this on a black man. And this is just a disgrace.
Thank you, General. When you attack American citizens, when you attack our institutions of legislation, when you attack our nation's capital, you attack the very being of our way of life. And this FBI and this Department of Justice stand here to tell you that we will always refute it and combat it. We will provide the safest country the nation has ever seen under President Trump's leadership.
Does anybody else out there, does anyone feel safer because Kash Patel is running the FBI? Does anyone out there feel safer because Kash Patel is running? Yeah. Who out there actually feels safe under the Trump administration? And I plainly ask this question to MAGA, and I'll always continue to point it out. CK didn't lose his life under Joe Biden. Do you know that? That's because we had a competent administration. See, and that's why I tell y'all gotta be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Same thing will make you laugh, it'll make you cry. So a lot of y'all out here, y'all think this is a joke. This is what I'm realizing about MAGA. Everything is funny until it happens to you. Everything it's so funny laughing at Joe Biden, right? It's so funny laughing at him, being an old man. Okay, who doesn't want to be an old person and, I mean, that's the place you want to get to life. You want to live and, go to as old as you can and enjoy your life. Joe Biden is doing that. He was literally a beacon of inspiration to a lot of seniors because they were like, wow, this is an older guy. He's still putting himself out there. He loves his country. And what did the MAGA demons do? They mocked him. They made fun of him because there's nothing but evil and wickedness in their hearts. So now they got what they wanted. They wanted a better version of Joe Biden. So they got somebody that's sleepier, someone that's sicker, someone that's more incompetent, someone that's more dangerous. And so now they have to live with the reality, you're not safe under the Trump administration, MAGA. You're not. As you continue to lose your health care, as you continue to lose your food stamps. No FEMA. You don't need any FEMA. If a natural disaster comes, that's just an act of God. You don't need any help. Yeah, but give us all that money in taxes, because we're going to take the taxes up using the terrorists. Y'all don't care.
And that's what we did here today with great resolve on a case of massive public importance, as it should be. An individual who's now alleged to have placed multiple explosive devices to blow up multiple people and multiple officials, innocent civilians, is now arrested thanks to the brave men and women of the FBI and the interagency. I want to take a moment to thank the Metropolitan Police Department, the United States Capitol Police, our brave prosecutors, the Department of Justice, and our leader, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro, whose relentless work on this case made this possible. As the Attorney General said, we did not discover any new information. What we did, an investigation spearheaded by the Deputy Director and the ADIC of our Washington field office, brought in a new team of investigators and experts.
So we got rid of the people that were looking at the case, and we brought in a bunch of people to come in. What does that look like? That just smells like a setup. So you're going to bring in people that don't have no knowledge of the case to come look at this. And we know you, sir, are very incompetent. So whatever they come up with, you're going to run with it and say, I feel like this is it. So again, it's a distraction in my opinion.
Re-examined every piece of evidence, sifted through all the data, something that the prior administration refused and failed to do.
So if we can sift through data, Cash, we have, I believe, 300 gigabytes of data about Jeffrey Epstein. We have 300 gigabytes of data, raw data, all right? W's in the chat for covers me. Thank you. 300 gigabytes of raw data about Jeffrey Epstein that the DOJ is sitting on, and you don't got any ability to tell us who the people he was working with are, Cash? See, this is why I say, this is...
result of that, we generated numerous investigative leads, executed multiple legal process with our U.S. attorney partners, and came to this conclusion today. And that is why we were able to safely secure this individual into custody. Remember, we are dealing with an individual who is alleged to have made bombs. We cannot do this sort of takedown in haste because it endangers the lives of law enforcement. And this FBI will never allow the lives of law enforcement and our prosecutors to be put in jeopardy. This execution was flawless in terms of teamwork, resilience, and just a good old-fashioned way of police getting the job done. When you let good cops be cops, this is what happens. I'm eternally grateful to the team behind me, to the leadership at the FBI who made this possible. But I do want to highlight when I introduced the deputy, he made this case and so many others, including Summer Heat, his priority to come in here and solve it for the American people. And today, I'm proud to stand here before you and say, we solved it. He will have his day in court. The American public and the world will learn even more information through the legal process as we have committed under this Attorney General. We are the most transparent law enforcement operation in U.S. history, but we are also going to make sure accountability is delivered to its fullest extent, and that happens in the courts of law with our U.S. attorneys and our prosecutors. So we will divulge information when it is prudent and constitutionally permissible while upholding the safeguards of this case to make sure that the people...
He lost me when he said that they're the most transparent administration. Let's listen to the other culprit in this big cover up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to the other culprit right here. Where we got? Oh, I thought. Oh, here he goes right here. This is who he is, Dan Bongino right here.
For this critical investigation we've been working on for a very long time. We deeply appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, General and Director. I appreciate it. Folks, this is what it's like when you work for a president who tells you to go get the bad guys and stop focusing on other extraneous things not related to law enforcement. This is what happens. We had a great team. I know it's said a lot in this business. It was a team effort. It becomes cliche, but cliches are useful for a reason because they matter. And this was a team effort. The director and the attorney general emphasized that it was not a new public tip this came from. This was our internal work at the FBI.
So why do you have to keep insisting that this was no new public tip? This is all based on the internal work. See, when you say things like that, I just can't help but wonder, why now? Why now? And then we get this little bit of information towards the end of it, because I don't got all day to play games, all right? Then we get this little bit, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they're doing it.
For today. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you. For today. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Hold on. Here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. There you go, right there.
Dr. Bongino could ask for today. This is the best birthday present I think Deputy Director Bongino could ask for today.
Oh, it's a birthday
Happy
present.
Holidays, Merry Christmas.
Okay, so this is a birthday present that they're doing for Dan Bongino, and it has nothing to do with actual facts, all right? And I got evidence, ladies and gentlemen, this is not based on actual facts, because right after this, Dan Bongino went on to Fox News, and he admitted what we all already know, which is he was paid in the past for his opinions. Listen to them go on Fox News, and I want MAGA to really let this sink in, because what he is saying applies to every single right-wing content creator that you keep following out here on the internet. Listen to what he admits. There you go.
Before you became the deputy FBI director, you put a post on X right after this happened. And you said there's a massive cover-up because the person that planted those pipe bombs, they don't want you to know who it is because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or an inside job. You said that, long before you even thought of as deputy FBI director.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I said to you, this investigation's just begun. We are pretty comfortable. We have our guy. I think again, legal process starts to surface and information, facts start to come out. The public's going to be very comfortable with the investigation that was conducted under Director Patel and his leadership. He's been great on this. But I don't want to, listen, I was paid in the past, Sean, for my opinions. That's clear. And one day I'll be back in that space. But that's not what I'm paid for now. I'm paid to be your deputy director. And
wow. That's all I needed to hear. He was paid in the past to lie, MAGA. Think about this. All of those folks on the right were paid in the past to lie to you all. And now he doesn't do that anymore. He works for the deep state. These folks, I tell you, MAGA has to be the most gullible individuals on the face of the earth. Because what they don't understand is Donald Trump has literally walked them right into the deep state and is totally taking advantage of them in ways they just can't imagine. And like I said, a lot of you won't be around come midterms. And so what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take this whole indictment that the Attorney General all the way down to Dan Bongino is trying to pull over our eyes and say a black man did it and throw it right in the trash can, because I don't buy any of it. And I'm also going to take Dan Bongino also because what he just admitted is he's been lying for years and taking the money from these Trump voters, all right? But now that he's working for the deep state, he don't care about them no more. And so all of them, ladies and gentlemen, and this is one of the reasons why Donald Trump's poll numbers are tanking. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, in warming up the lake of fire. Because I don't buy it. A brother did all of this and wasn't detected. I don't buy it at all. I see a cover up. Join me in sending these folks, these hypocrites, where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, and that's a huge W, Zeus. Now, there's a little bit of this, and I got to get into it a little bit. That's Candace Owens, and she doesn't know it, but she's doing my job she's doing her job as far as I am concerned, destroying the MAGA base. Because what she's doing is she is making them eat crow in so many words. Because, what I say is, you live by the conspiracy, you unalive by the conspiracy. Case closed. And Candace Owens, honestly, she is sticking true to it. She's going to go down in conspiracy world if that's what it takes to help MAGA understand. You can't play around with stuff like this. And so what I just want to do is call this out. First of all, I don't know if the order really matters, but I'll say it. There's 2 points. One, she's turning on Turning Point. Think about that. She's turned on Turning Point, and a lot of what she is saying is that Turning Point seems to be the one responsible for what happened to CK. I wish Kash Patel would totally look into that, right, with his investigative skill set. And listen to what she says, all right? She calls out Turning Point because she says that they're going to go ahead with debunking a live stream. They're going to do a debunking live stream, but they're going to do it without her because they want her to come there and do the whole debunking game. And she's like, and a lot of her supporters are saying, listen, we don't think it's safe for Candace to go show up at Turning Point right now. Okay, do the live stream together. They don't want to do it, so Candace calls them out.
The show. Yesterday, we made it clear that we would be scheduling a formal response to allegations and accusations that you have made. We have decided that response will be delivered during a live stream, as he said, a live stream, on December 15th.
Okay.
Thank you for your response, letting us know that you will not be joining the in-person conversation.
Oh.
We will be proceeding without you.
Okay.
Why are you proceeding without me? To have a conversation that is about me. Why am I getting 24 hours to respond? Why do you need me there in person if you are trying to be sincere and answer the very many questions that I have brought up on this show?
Yeah.
You guys weren't even sincere in what you said yesterday. You told some glaring lies about things that I have said.
Okay.
So we're supposed to trust that you guys are going to handle this discussion all by yourselves and respond to any and every allegation. And this isn't just some planned PR for once and for all. Like I said, this is so obvious. He is being completely destroyed in the comments because what's happening at Turning Point, and I've seen this happen before, is they now believe that they are smarter than their audience, right? They think they are smarter than their small pocket donors. They can pull such an obviously crappy public move like this and pretend, well, we tried.
Yeah, there you go. And so what I'll say is W to the Democrats. Because they're fighting amongst themselves, right? This is what I mean. You live by the conspiracy. You unalive by the conspiracy. Hey, none of this would happen if y'all would quit trafficking and peddling in misinformation and disinformation, MAGA. DJ, no, I'm not a follower of Candace. I'm not a follower of anyone. DJ, have you lost your mind? But I do pay attention, W. Zeus. DJ, have you lost your mind? I'm pointing out something very important. Cosmo came up here. I want every Trump voter, when I interact with you, get up here, and especially Lion Lou, all right, who made an effort to try to accuse the Democrats of being responsible because, guess what? Guess what you said? It was our rhetoric. It was our rhetoric that got them into that situation. Oh, no. So you owe us an apology, and until I get it, I'm going to stay on Candace, and the rest of y'all like white on rice. W. Zeus. Yeah. Listen, I got memory like an elephant, all right? No, I refuse. And then you blame the whole Butler thing on us too. And it's like, no, we are using our rights, All right, you believe in free speech, right? So quit crying and complaining. Like, they get mad at me. Zeus uses Christianity to bash MAGA. This is one of their biggest complaints. He uses Christianity to bash MAGA. And I sat there and I said, so y'all use Christianity to enslave an entire race of people, just totally destroy a country, and so y'all use it to do that. All I do is sit on TikTok and talk about it, and y'all crying. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of devils. W, Zeus. So y'all can go around and weaponize Christianity. You let Caroline Levitt put a cross on her chest and go out here and spread hatred and violence and lies. But then I get up here and I send your behind straight to hell and you crying like a bunch of babies. I'm telling you, God is not to be mocked. W, Zeus. All I'm doing is hit and play. All I'm doing is hit and play on what y'all saying. I'll give you another example of what Candace said. She roasted Tim Pool in response to calling her a nasty word, all right, and blaming her for the division in the GOP. Listen to this.
28, and it's because she's a piece of shit.
Oh!
Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest retarded crap.
Okay, so this is MAGA on MAGA behavior, violence, that I be talking about. I'm not doing it, DJ. I'm not doing it. This is y'all. And this is why I get on, and this is when I get active sometimes, and I say, quit pretending like toxic behavior is acceptable within the, because I'm actually giving you game, because he's disrespecting this woman. He's disrespecting her. As much as I disagree with a lot of people, you know, I can be harsh and deliver my message, but for the most part, it's like, hey, we got to carry ourselves like, you know, we understand. But MAGA men, they don't respect women. They will literally say, I don't respect women. And the sad part about that is there's women that'll hear that and think to themselves, well, he doesn't mean that to me. That's the sad part about it, because I'm the first man to tell you, actually, he does mean that to you. He does. As long as you're giving him what he wants, he gonna play that role, you know, sort of like how Diddy did. You should watch the documentary, by the way. The way 50 unpacked Diddy in that documentary. I said, wow, go watch the documentary. You'll know how narcissists and abusers get, all right? And there's a lesson in that, right? And so I tell the story and I tell the truth, and I know a lot of the brothers and sisters out there, the men, they think, well, Zeus, you're not a real man. And I said, well, listen to this. Actually, I am W Zeus. But listen to how Candace responds.
And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Candace.
Because they killed Charlie Kirk in broad daylight, and we don't care about your stupid midterms. We just don't care. Like, they really... This is how they view Charlie Kirk. That's why I say, was anything in his life real? Tim Pool is going off right now because he's like, it's not the time. You guys need to be mules. You need to keep voting in the very corrupt people that are lying to your faces right now about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It is not the time, because it is your job to get people into office. This is what I mean when I suggest that nothing in Charlie Kirk's life was real.
Oh my God.
So he really thinks he's doing something there. And actually what he's doing is proving my point. These people just saw Charlie as a means to an end.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
As a political horse that they could ride. And so for whatever reason, they got tired riding him. And now they're angry because they also were going to whip the horse, the ghost of Charlie Kirk, and say, we still need you to shore up votes. And it is inconvenient that people who actually cared about Charlie and saw him as a, I don't know, human being,
Right.
a human being, want to know why he was publicly executed in front of us and why we're being lied to about everything. That is why Tim Pool is upset, because midterms. It's going to be my fault, not the fault of the feds for feeding us BS. It's not going to be the fault of Turning Point USA for lying and thinking that they're brighter than us and seemingly not caring about the investigation. It's not going to be the fault of, I don't know, maybe actual politicians like Donald Trump, who's the president of the United States, and looked us in the face and said, are we still talking about the Epstein files? No, that's not his fault. The fault is Candace Owens for wanting to figure out who murdered her friend. Don't you guys
I gotta stop that. That's too much. I gotta stop that. That's too much. And so now that I've hurt DJ's feelings, and DJ, don't be mad at me because I just hit play, bro. This is MAGA on MAGA stuff, and I just happen to be a witness. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire, because Candace Owens lets the cat out of the bag for us. Notice not one time did she say it was the Democrats. No, she's pointing directly at you, DJ. You keep being a mule. That's my new word. I like using garbage. But y'all keep being mules for Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these mules where they belong, straight to
I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
You're not.
Silence, you MAGA Dayton.
And that's a huge W. See, what I told you I was going to do is I was going to hold up the poll numbers to MAGA's face. Hold up the picture of who Donald Trump really is to MAGA. And if if you're getting triggered by what I'm saying, listen.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. So, if you're listening to this show, and again, your feelings just got hurt, don't worry about it. I don't mind it. You know, one of the things that I've been doing on this show over the years, ladies and gentlemen, is I have been making it a point to say, hey, if you unblock me, if you turn around and decide that I'm just too much for me, and then you turn around and block me, at this moment, I think, you know what, a little distance isn't a bad thing. A little distance isn't a bad thing. If you have to block me because I'm hurting your feelings, just simply hitting play on what's really happening in the world, then so be it. I don't care. I'm not your babysitter. All right, I'm not your friend. I'm not your, we don't do anything together. All right, and so I want you to really honestly meditate on the information that I'm sharing with you and leave it at that. W. Yvette, thank you. I appreciate you too, DJ. All right, yeah, I was raised the right way. All right, I was raised the right way. What do you mean the right way? I was taught you don't have friends. Jesus is your only friend. And I said, why do you say that? I'm saying this to my mom. Because Jesus laid down his life for you. Now, a lot of people don't believe in Jesus. I get that, but I get what she was saying. If they ain't willing to lay their life down for you, then guess what? They ain't your friend. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Okay? We got associates out here, ladies and gentlemen. You got associates, all right? Every friend will let you down. A friend will do something behind your back, if you know what I mean. But when I said bring Donald Trump's poll numbers back to reality, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. This was some good news this morning. Some of you may have heard it, but I want to get this on the record. I'll get this on the record.
Voters versus his previous elections.
This is about
He
Trump's poll
also
numbers.
made huge gains with another group that would be younger voters. So how is he doing with younger voters now? One man knows the answer. Senate Chief Data Analyst Harry. And it's interesting because I haven't thought about this voting group in a while here. So what are the changes?
Yeah, what are the changes? Donald Trump put in the best performance for a Republican presidential candidate among young voters since George W. Bush did back in the early 2000s. And he started off his term, his net approval rating among voters under the age of 30 at plus 10 points. Hey, that's pretty gosh darn good.
Yeah.
But you come over now, according to CBS News YouGov, this isn't falling into the water. This isn't going under seas. This is going into a deep, dark, black hole.
Okay.
Look at that, minus 46 points. That is a shift.
So his net approval, ladies and gentlemen, has shifted. It's down to negative 46, all right? And I want to give all of you a huge round of applause. Yeah, it's going down like he goes down in a meeting, you know what I mean? When he goes to sleep, all right, I don't know. All right, I mean, just listen to this.
On the net approval of 56 points in the wrong direction since February. My goodness gracious, I love looking at these swings, looking how the electorate changes. You rarely ever see swings.
We look at a lot of polls. We almost never see drops this big, this quickly. Any sense of why? What issues may be driving it?
Look, we've been talking about it. You were talking about it last segment with Mr. Matt Egan. It's the economy, stupid. I mean, just take a look here. Age 18 and 29 on Trump and the economy. Back in October of 2024, who did those under the age of 30 trust? Harris or Trump? It was Trump by 10 points, according to the Marquette University Law School poll. Look at where his net approval rating is now on the economy. Minus 52
points very similar to what we saw in the CBS News YouGov poll in terms of his overall drop.
So minus 52 points when it comes to the economy, which clearly means, ladies and gentlemen, this sleepy dementia patient has no idea what he's doing with the economy. Implementing just blanket tariffs on us. Everything costs more. Our utility bills cost more. You'll hear him still running around talking about how we're the hottest country and blah, blah, blah. It's really embarrassing at this point. And so what I'll do is this. He said, why are his poll numbers down? And he left out, I think, it's the economy. But after listening to Candace Owens, I believe that it's also the Epstein files. Am I right? The mismanagement of the Epstein files, you mix that with the economy, ladies and gentlemen, it's a recipe for disaster, and MAGA knows it. All right? So when y'all out here seeing Donald Trump trying to use immigrants and people of color as a scapegoat, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, that's nothing but a distraction. So what we'll do is this. Join me in warming up the lake of fire. Hey, DJ, I notice you're still fighting. But get this, bro. You're fighting for the wrong team. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Line DJ and anybody else still supporting Donald Trump where they belong straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. This story right here, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Kabira, she sent it to me. I don't know if she's here. How many of you heard about this story? This is an ICE agent running around terrorizing women in Louisiana. And I said, we got to get this on record because you got to imagine this, right? You got to imagine this, right? You're walking home. Imagine, and this is the situation a lot of women find themselves in. No matter what your reasoning for it is, it's always scary. If you're ever just minding your business, walking home, and an SUV pulls up to you with a bunch of guys wearing masks on. That's just scary. No question. I don't care if they're trying to help you. If you're trying to help me or you're trying to be, an asset, why wear the mask? What's with all this creepy stalkerish behavior? I mean, do you guys that actually do this kind of work feel good about yourselves? And so listen to this, the sheer fear in this woman's voice, ladies and gentlemen, who was approached by these I call them criminals with badges, all right?
Leave me alone!
Video obtained by CNN shows federal agents wearing ice vests chasing a woman back to her home in Maria, Louisiana, a suburb of New Orleans. Jacelyn, 22-year-old mother, says she's a U.S. citizen who was born and raised in Louisiana. She asked that her last name not be used to protect her privacy. She says she was walking home from the grocery store when the masked agents attempted to approach her a few feet from her house. Jacelyn can be heard yelling at the men as she runs towards her home.
Leave me alone!
Moments later, a man identified as Jacelyn's stepfather is heard yelling at the agents before they are seen heading back to a vehicle.
No, you're the one that said it. We weren't even looking for you. Over here. Hey, so who are you looking for? This is a public area. Okay, what's your I don't want to speak to you. Well, I don't want to talk to you either. You're the one talking to me.
What a disgrace. DJ, there's no whole story. I've seen enough. The sad thing is, you see people like DJ out there making excuses for unethical behavior. DJ, this is what I consider unethical. Why are you not getting the criminals, DJ? The whole story is you and I were lied to when we were told that you would go after the dangerous ones. Sort of like, why didn't Donald Trump get the guy that actually unalived that servicewoman, the National Guard, Sarah, in Washington, D.C.? You know that person? You would have thought that the Trump administration with Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, they would have detected that this person, because you know what they're saying right now. This is where they're at right now with that situation. He did that. He attacked the two people in Washington, D.C. because the Taliban told him to do it. This is what I'm hearing in right-wing spaces. So he's been getting contacted by the Taliban. and they're holding his family in Afghanistan ransom, and they're telling him to carry out this order against the United States military, or that his family's going to be harmed. And I said, well, who was trying to negotiate and bring the Taliban to the White House? Donald Trump. Who's responsible, or I would say 80% responsible for the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal? Donald Trump. All right, who negotiated the troop withdrawal deal? Donald Trump. Who put the National Guard in Washington, D.C.? Donald Trump. So his hands are red, in my opinion, right? And so I'm going, you mean to tell me with all the technology the DOJ has, they weren't able to figure out that the Taliban would maybe try to contact some of the people that we've brought over? You're not monitoring any of those communications? You're using all your manpower to go after this woman, this little woman right here, 22 years old, American citizen. We're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a country. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I do this. Join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. Hey, DJ, I just told you the whole story, bro. And guess what? It doesn't change anything. That demon inside of you is still going to tell you Zeus is wrong and that DJ is right. No, you're not, DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending DJ and anyone else that still supports Donald Trump after hearing a harrowing story like this. Join me in sending them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Yeah. While I was out to and fro doing what I was doing, I also got this alert. And we're just going to let this hit play. I just want to make sure we get this on the record.
Breaking news, a grand jury has declined to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. Let's get straight to CNN's Caitlin Pollins. Caitlin, what are you learning?
Well, Caitlin Collins and I have just confirmed through some sources that indeed a grand jury sitting in the federal courthouse in Norfolk, Virginia today, they looked at the possibility of indicting Letitia James for mortgage fraud, and they said no to this Justice Department. Now, this comes just about 10 days or a week or so after a judge previously dismissed the case. That case was dismissed against James. It was the same mortgage fraud case, we believe, that the prosecutors were trying to get off the ground again today. It had been dismissed because previously a judge looked at it and said that the prosecutor who had taken it through the grand jury the first time wasn't validly doing that job, and so that they needed to try again with a grand jury to reconfirm an indictment if they wanted it. We do, though, believe that the Justice Department could try again before a grand jury, potentially a third time, to try to secure a James indictment. But we do not know exactly when that might happen. We were told that this could be not a time for premature celebration.
Okay. And so what we'll do is this W. Letitia James. So what we have is, once again, evidence that the DOJ is wasting taxpayers' money, trying to follow through on Donald Trump's revenge tour, where he's somehow going to exact revenge on his political rivals. And this is the hypocrisy. MAGA's claim to fame was Letitia James campaigned on getting Trump. And now that to them proves that there's something corrupt about justice, right? But they ignored the fact that Donald Trump campaigned on locking up Hillary Clinton. It was okay when he did it, but when a sister does it and a black woman does it and she's actually successful at doing it, now you got an issue. It don't work like that. So now Donald Trump's wasting millions and millions of taxpayers' dollars trying to get her on what? Mortgage fraud. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's all backfiring. It's all backfiring because everyone knows that this she's innocent. She's innocent. And this is just nothing but a weaponized DOJ. This is a two-tier justice system all being used to go after a sister because she beat the brakes off of Donald Trump in the courtroom. All right, so I'm going to give Letitia James another round of applause, but what I'll do is this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire once again. Because listen, God is not to be mocked. And MAGA, where's your outrage? Oh, I forgot. You don't got it because guess what? You're a bunch of liars and a bunch of seditionists, treasonous traitors, and a bunch of hypocrites. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons once again where they belong, straight to hell. I got so much.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I'll tell you another story, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you another story. This one came across my
From 7 to 9 p.m.
This came across my timeline, and I said, now I don't know what to do with it. I really don't. I don't know what to do with it, but this is a story, ladies and gentlemen. Why do they keep sending me invites? I don't want to do any of this battling stuff. All right. It's called A Trump Voter Helps Immigrants in Chicago Avoid Deportation. I heard this story and I said, oh my gosh, listen to this. Listen to what this is why Donald Trump is getting his behind kicked, but we'll get straight to judgment. Listen to this story.
Trump administration ramps up its immigration crackdown. Some of the people that put him in office are speaking out against these efforts. One of those people is Aaliyah Arundale, who has been helping migrants in her Chicago neighborhood for years. It started with giving them food and clothing, helping them find work. But now she's working to protect them from ICE.
Oh.
Hello, good evening. How are you? I'm a Venezuelan mother who was deported from the United States about a month ago. My daughter stayed in the state of Texas. Friend, give me your information since you have helped many people. I need you to help me get with my daughters again. I was doing all the paperwork that they brought me, but it turns out it was a scam, and now I don't know what to do. I need your help. And even the last message she said was so powerful. I need my daughters so much. I mean, how do you see that and not do something?
So that's a Trump voter, DJ. This woman right here, she voted for Donald Trump, and I feel a certain type of way about it because how you gonna vote for him and then turn around and be helping the people that Donald Trump is targeting? Something's wrong. But she asked a very, very powerful question, DJ. How you gonna see this happening, DJ, and not do anything? See, that's a woman, honestly, I gotta say, I would say she's showing that at least she has a heart and has some sort of compassion for her fellow human beings, unlike you, DJ, and all your similar like-minded individuals, while y'all sit around here and excuse Donald Trump going after these innocent women and children and not going after the real hardened criminals. How you sit there and do nothing?
Joining me now is Franny Block, an investigative reporter at the Free Press and the reporter behind this story. So, Franny, this is such a fascinating woman.
Alter ego, at the very beginning, it said she voted for Trump, all right? So that's why I'm playing the video. Good question, but you got to keep up, all right?
She voted for Trump. She says she agrees with closing the border, but also...
You hear that?
Joining me now is Franny Block, an investigative reporter at the Free Press and the reporter behind this story. So, Franny, this is such a fascinating woman. She voted for Trump. She says she agrees with closing the border, but also clearly has a strong calling to help these immigrants and is undermining this Trump campaign. What did she tell you about why she's doing this?
Well, she told me that she saw people being dropped off on her street after they've been bused from Texas to Chicago.
Remember Operation Lone Star? Remember that? How Texas was sending these people to Chicago? See, it's always interesting how MAGA always has their hands in something inhumane, just like this.
Many of these people being Venezuelan migrants who were fleeing very real fear back home in Venezuela. And she said they didn't have jackets, they didn't have proper shoes, they needed work, they needed help. And so she said, I wanted to just do what I could to help them. And it started small. It started with bringing them jackets and clothes. And then it kind of has blossomed. She helped many different people apply for asylum. And now as the crackdown has really come down hard on Chicago, ICE agents all over the city arresting people, she has now transitioned into helping many of these people who've become her friends, really, try to evade ICE.
So I'll give her a round of applause. You got to start somewhere. If she's helping people, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I just don't like the fact that she knew this was going to happen and voted for Trump, if she's really helping people, then it is what it is. I just wish that more people would wake up and realize how dangerous Donald Trump is. So what I'll do is this. I know that DJ's still in the audience, and I just feel like sending someone to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. Because I know DJ will hear this, and he'll still go out here and see a woman being, chased after by ICE, and he'll drive himself home and make himself a hot dog to eat. Because he doesn't care. He'll see his neighbor being hunted down by these ICE agents. He'll shut the garage and go on and turn on Fox News. He's nothing but a disgrace. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending DJ Wave along straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I'm killing it. Thank you. You're killing it too. Yeah. DJ. This is the last part, and then I'm going to open up the boxes and have some tough conversations. And this has to do with, guess who, ladies and gentlemen, one of the worst individuals that we got in the Trump administration right there. DJ's hero. This is DJ's hero, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll just let Lawrence O'Donnell do what he wants with him before I get to him.
That's what has happened in the American military after every war crime committed by the American military. First, they lie. Somewhere in the chain of command, they lie. That is what Donald Trump's incompetent Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, did when first confronted with the Washington Post breaking news report of a second missile strike on a small boat that had already been destroyed and burst into flames after the first missile strike. The Washington Post reported that the second missile strike killed 2 people clinging to the wreckage, which would be a war crime in a war and is murder outside of war. There is no war in the Caribbean.
Wow.
There is no fog of war there.
No.
So Pete Hegseth lied and said that everything in the Washington Post article was, quote, the fake news delivering more fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory reporting.
Wow.
That was Pete Hegseth's first lie about this story as soon as it came out. Pete Hegseth himself has already turned himself in for lying about that, for telling that lie, since he has changed his story multiple times.
Wow.
Since he told that lie on Sunday. In Vietnam, the worst American military war crime of the 20th century was called a resounding success. Those are the words, resounding success, in the first after-action report of what came to be known as the My Lai Massacre, in which American soldiers commanded by Lieutenant William Calley summarily executed 347 people.
Wow. So we've done
And
this before.
first, they lied. But 18 months later, Lieutenant Calley was finally charged with personally murdering 109 civilians.
So what Lawrence O'Donnell is pointing out, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're dealing with right now with this corrupt, evil, vile administration. We've already been through this as a nation before, and accountability, it'll come. And I just wanted to say that because there's a lot of people out here that are working in these agencies right now. And I just got to say this. Donald Trump won't be the president forever, but there is going to be a record of what you've been doing. There's a record of what you've been doing. So if I were in your shoes, I would definitely, ladies and gentlemen, I would definitely be more cautious about doing things that might jeopardize your freedom and your liberties. Because listen, it's going to be hard to hold you accountable now, but if this is going down this same path, you might want to think twice.
Babies, grandmothers, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers. When one of the soldiers, Lieutenant Calley, ordered to murder people, refused to do it, Lieutenant Calley took that soldier's rifle and shot them himself.
Wow.
But first they lied.
They lied about it.
The American military never wanted us to know that story. And when the suspicions built about a possible war crime, the lying didn't stop immediately. The lying does not stop immediately in these cases.
Wow.
But based on the American military's history of lying about war crimes, the American military has earned exactly zero credibility to any defense or offered about a possible war crime if that defense does not include evidence. And that's for war crimes. What about crimes committed outside of war? Ryan Goodman is now a professor of law at NYU who served as a legal counsel in the Pentagon in 2015 and 2016.
Right.
He told the New York Times today, focusing on the shipwrecked is a distraction insofar as it suggests everything else preceding and after that strike was all legitimate. Even under a law of armed conflict, they were all civilians. And we are not actually in armed conflict. Either way, it was all murder.
Wow. You hear that? You hear that? This is what's in the hearts, ladies and gentlemen. It's the evil spirit, demonic. The spirit of unaliving seems to be in the hearts of all these Trump voters that continue to prop up this evil and violent administration. How could you really sit there and think it's okay to unalive innocent people and then turn around and proclaim to be Christians? You're not Christians. You're hypocrites. You're demons. Wicked souls, and you need an exorcist. So what we'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's warm up the lake of fire. This is why I do what I do. This is for all the Trump voters out there that are still on the Trump train. I just wanted to let you know you've got a first-class trip where? Straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon!
W Zeus! Thank you, everyone. That concludes my monologue. I've cooked and I've booked and I've helped make sure MAGA understands that there's going to be hell to pay for supporting Donald Trump. And now it's time to engage in some meaningful dialogue with hopefully honest, reasonable people who are willing to admit that they've made a terrible mistake, all right, supporting the Trump administration, all right? Or if they still support it, explain why, all right? So let's start it out that way. If you're a Trump voter, please, in the audience, identify yourselves. If you voted for Donald Trump, just identify yourselves in the comment section, all right? And what we want to do is we want to get to the bottom of why you still believe it's acceptable to run around and lie on behalf of Donald Trump, as if all of us are as ignorant as the people you manipulate with those lies, because none of us here believe any of the lies MAGA spews. I'll say this, if you are a person that still believes what MAGA is saying right now, you deserve it, all right? You really do, because I've been talking so much about things like this, and it's just at a point now where you're going, all right, the stove is hot, don't touch it. The stove is hot, don't touch it. The stove is hot, don't touch it. And you went and touched it. It's going to be like, well, listen, don't start crying about it, seriously, because all the information is out here. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump voter. I'll bring you right on up here, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here. Look at what the cat drug in. We meet again. This is the second time this week. Is there something I can help you with?
You said come up, man. So I came up.
But do you have something to push back against, or is this just the same thing you always do?
How about all of it, man? I mean, you don't like the fact that the United States has actually taken the war to the drug dealers instead of letting them come here?
How do you got a problem with that? Do you know if they actually were carrying rugs, DJ?
Oh, absolutely. They know they were carrying drugs.
What kind? Because
these cartels,
what kind?
Have been actively enjoying a free business in the United States, and those days are over.
But DJ,
friend.
What kind?
Days are over.
DJ, what kind of rugs? You got to say rugs on TikTok.
Okay, no problem.
What rugs were they?
Is there a magic word that I have to say for those?
I just said rugs. What kind of rugs were they bringing in?
Again, is there a magic
just
word
DJ
say for what type?
Yeah, you have to say I don't know or give me the answer, because I'm trying to really rehabilitate you.
Okay, I'm just trying to follow your rules, man. If you want me to say cocaine, then I'll say cocaine. If you want me to say fentanyl, then I'll say fentanyl.
Oh well, you shouldn't say those. You shouldn't say those. All right,
come on. Are you trying to deny that the cartels have been basically? I mean,
you're gonna get the live taken down when you use the actual name. You're gonna get the live taken down if you use the actual name, right? All right,
Okay,
W. Rick. All right, but DJ, show me an article if you don't mind, or tell me what website I can go to that actually confirms that that is the exact substance that was in there, and that's what they picked up from the boats.
It's all over the news. Why do I need to show you an exact article?
Well, because
all you have to do is open your eyes and turn on the news, and you'll see what these cartels have been getting away with.
Okay,
and presidents for decades have been saying we're going to fight a war on rugs.
Okay.
And guess what? We've been losing that war. So Donald Trump said, you know what? We're going to take a different path here. Instead of waiting for them to come to us, we're going to go to them.
All right, but DJ, you're still. I get that. That's the direction. But
Don't
I'm
ask
saying
me where my proof is. I don't.
DJ, why are you just rambling?
Saying, where's your proof? Okay.
Can you slow down? You're crashing out. It's too early. I haven't even gotten into the conversation, DJ. I'm talking to you. Okay, so I want to make sure I say what needs to be said. If you use one of those military strikes to hit a boat, right? That means that you're not there when the impact occurs. Am I correct?
What do you mean they're not there when the impact occurs?
So, because you made a claim that
this is a stupid point, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you claimed that you know exactly what's on those boats. And I let you say that because I also understand that Donald Trump has said on multiple occasions, you can look at it and you can just see what's on it and you can say that's pretty much a boat. That's not a fishing boat. It's a rug boat, which means he's not physically inspecting what's on the boat, right? You and I have to establish this is really what's happening. Not one person from the United States has physically inspected what's on the boat, DJ. All you're doing is literally repeating a narrative from a bunch of people we all know are well-known liars. You have no evidence. Hold on, DJ. You have no evidence of what was on those boats.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you walk out your door in the morning, okay, do you need to go, wait a minute, I got to run back inside and ask the weatherman which way the wind is blowing, okay? Some things are so completely obvious, and you want to use this as a veil. Okay, you want to use, we didn't see actual pictures. We want to see, we want to go down there in the water and see these things.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, right? So in math, there's a thing called like a series, right? And sometimes you can look at a series of numbers and then make an educated guess in terms of what the next number will be. But what you also have to learn is what you always think the next number will be isn't always the case. And there's proof out there. There's evidence that proves that just because the first two numbers are this doesn't mean the next number is that, right? So I think that there has to be a level of caution that is used when you're talking about eliminating people off of the face of the earth. All right? If you do not have undeniable evidence of what's on those boats and you take it upon yourself to eliminate a person, you run a risk of eliminating someone that's innocent.
Wow. That's a heck of a spin you got there.
So that's just reality. So that's where I'm going to leave that, DJ. Again, so that's why, and I got to say this to the audience.
Quacks like a duck. It's a duck.
Okay. So then that leads me to the next point of this.
I can't believe that you would sit here and defend narco terrorists. I can't believe it. I can't believe that you would sit here and defend these people like they deserve to be given the benefit of the doubt.
So
they don't deserve anything, Zeus. These are people that are destroying our country. They're destroying the lives of families.
DJ,
and you're sitting here defending them, Zeus.
DJ, who is Juan?
How do you sleep at night like that?
Who's Juan Orlando Hernandez?
I'm assuming it's the guy that Trump pardoned. Is that who you're talking about?
And what did he do?
I don't agree with his pardon.
Oh, so it's okay for Donald Trump to, quote, defend one of those people, and you won't even call
Trump
Donald...
has his reasons, whatever they were, but I don't agree
do me a
with
favor
him.
then, DJ.
He's the president, and he made the decision.
Call Donald Trump out right now on the show. Tell him he was wrong, just like you called me out. Say, Donald Trump, I'm done supporting you. You did something that I don't agree with.
No. So because I disagree with something that Trump did, I no longer support him at all. Is that what you're saying? That's what you like.
DJ, what I'll say is this, because you're trying really hard, and it's so easy to
I'm not trying anything. I'm just being honest with you, man.
Okay.
Do you agree with everything that Gavin Newsom's done? Everything?
But I don't worship him either. But what I'll say is this, DJ. Gavin Newsom is not the president.
I worship Trump, but you don't worship. I just said something that I disagreed with Trump on. Tell me something you disagree with Gavin Newsom on. Zeus.
No, because I'm not going.
But you don't worship him? I thought you just said you don't worship him. Give me one example of something you disagree with him on.
I disagree with Donald Trump not releasing the Epstein files.
They just passed a law. Not Donald Trump. Gavin Newsom. Give me one thing.
I disagree with how Donald Trump complained that Joe Biden was sleepy all the time, and then we're seeing him sleeping all over the place with bandaged hands. So DJ, I get it.
Are you going to answer the question? Are you going to give me one thing you disagree with Gavin Newsom on?
No, because if you be honest with me, I'll do it. If
you worship him.
If you be honest with me, I'll do it.
You think that everything he does is right? Is that what you're saying? Everything Gavin Newsom does is right?
DJ, you know what? You've worked really hard for it. Is this the best you got? This is the same thing I've already dealt with.
You're giving nothing back, Zeus. You're getting walked right here, right in front of your 1,000 people.
You think I am? You think I am?
Yeah, I absolutely think you are.
And you think Trump's a good president, right? You think Trump is a good president too, huh? You think Trump is a good president, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well then you know what?
That's your point. That's your point. That
something's
I think
wrong with you,
president?
DJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. Something's really wrong with you,
and I don't think you're willing to be honest, Zeus. Just you said you don't worship Gavin Newsom.
And actually, I
don't agree with everything.
Why did he put Ghislaine Maxwell? Why did he put Ghislaine Maxwell in a minimum security prison based on your knowledge and expertise?
This is called a pivot.
Oh, okay.
This is called a pivot.
Well, DJ, you don't have any answers. DJ, you don't have any answers.
Your minions are saying that I'm not being honest, but their faithful leader right here just.
All right, listen. The Lake of Fire is warming up. DJ, the Lake of Fire is warmed up. DJ, the Lake of Fire has warmed up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's time because you're getting walked, Zeus.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Put me in the Lake of Fire.
And I love it when they say, "Go ahead and throw me in the Lake of Fire," because that's exactly what I was going to do. Look at how I have so much power over you, DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending the disgusting danger. The D in his name must stand for dangerous, and then the J must stand for something nasty as well. And he probably got it from Grindr. Join me in sending dangerous Joker. Yeah, I'll call him Dangerous Joker. Join me in sending the Dangerous Joker, aka Scott Jennings wannabe, where he belongs. He came right out of there. I brought him back straight to hell. That's enough. Y'all don't like him? I can't do it. W, Ladybug.
I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
Yeah, you're not. You're not getting into heaven. W Zeus. Listen, I understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's very painful to endure what DJ is saying, but trust me, all right, he's going to get his. Because it's not just us. God is watching him. W Rick. All right, and I love it. Oops. I love it, ladies and gentlemen, when we get to hear the demon say things and then you get to hear what the real is. Like, for instance, right now, I got my good friend, Brother Val. How are you doing?
How's it going?
All right. I'm doing all right. I just had a nasty one in the box.
I saw.
Yeah.
DJ.
Yes.
Or to DJ. DJ, I want you to understand something. When we are actually, as the U.S. government and the U.S. citizenry, watching the United States military commit war crimes in open waters.
Facts.
There is no other story, really. Okay? This is what we're actually witnessing happen to people. When you unalive people in water that are not trying to fight you, that is actually a crime, sir. Nobody fired on the U.S. military.
Have we declared war? Have we declared war?
We haven't declared war. Okay? And even if we did, this would still be a war crime. And then you turn around and go, you agree with this, but you don't agree with him letting Hernandez off, okay?
He walked right into that.
Right. I mean,
like
sir.
Epstein said, Trump walked into that glass door when he was hanging out with him. Remember that?
Oh yeah. This is what happens to people when they don't understand their own internal hypocrisy, and then okay it from somebody else. Sir, one, this has actually been studied already.
Yeah.
There is no F substance that comes out of Venezuela.
Bingo.
Okay. There may be some C substance. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that would come up through and put through there by Colombia.
Oh, W Val right there. So DJ, that's why we call you Dangerous Joker. That's what your initials stand for. Dangerous Joker.
But here's also another estimate for you. Less than 5% of all substances that make it to the United States come from Venezuela.
Oh.
Less than 5%. Most of it comes up through our western seaboard, sir. You know, the Pacific Ocean. From Colombia. I don't see them going out and doing anything about that. You know, we just want to go after Venezuela. Less than 5% of our issue and no F substance. Okay, so that, you know what I'm saying? What you're saying, the empirical evidence says you're wrong. So that was actually discussed yesterday by 3 different senators and 1 from the Republican side.
Wow.
And Rand Paul.
Wow.
Okay, that talked about that very thing I just said. Okay, this is ridiculous, sir. Yeah. You are okaying crimes. You are okaying murder of people that we don't even know did anything wrong.
Get him, Val. Thank you.
There is no evidence, DJ.
Chastise him. Tell him, Val.
Yeah.
Because you're
people
like his
talking
father
on the
figure.
news. Yeah,
You're like
people
his father
on the news.
figure.
Yeah. People on the news can say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
But the fact is this, there is no actual evidence that shows that there was any kind of substance on any of these boats.
Nope.
Do I believe there probably was? Well, after 26 boats, I'm guessing you probably got one right. Okay, but still, the thing is, sir, is that with that much military presence in this body of waters, because this is not a large body of water as a comparison to most.
Correct.
With this much military presence, I want to know if there's any of these boats that could outrun the U.S. Navy. I can answer that question for you.
Please do.
No. There's a carrier in these waters, sir. They're not outrunning anybody. I understand if you want to disable a boat because it doesn't stop, doesn't mean destroy it, doesn't mean unalive all the people in it. We have that capability.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we search it. And if we find what we were looking for, you know, we do what every other person has ever done in this country for decades. We pile it on top of a deck of a ship and we take a picture.
Tell him, Val. He's begging. He's clawing. He's clawing.
Yeah, these things cannot be allowed. And you know, as far as their nice little Jan.6 story, the timing's fucking wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mama Zeus. But the timing is just crazy, isn't it? Wonder what that's to distract us from. Let me think about this a second. Oh yeah, these boats and the e-files.
Yeah. Get him, Val. Thank
These boats and the e-files. This is all a distraction to stop us from those 2 things because, sir, it doesn't get any worse than this.
You're disgraceful.
There's a reason that O'Donnell brought up Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you get it, DJ.
Oh, get him.
Okay.
Please.
He brought up Vietnam because we've made over administration since Vietnam significant changes to our military structure to make sure these kind of actions would not happen again.
Thank you.
And we're watching it happen in real time because of a president and an administration that's sitting in office that has no, let me repeat this.
Say it again.
No clue how to run a government. This is not a business, DJ. It is government.
Thank
you.
It
affects everyone's lives, and what the U.S. does affects the world. And until you people understand that and actually get it, we're not going to move around. And all of this is built to the distractions that are happening right here at home. You know, the fact that unemployment is rising. The fact that job creation is dropping. Okay. The fact that people are losing jobs on a daily basis right now in big numbers. The fact that companies are suffering right now.
Wow. I get so angry. And you're right, Val. So many other things are more important, and yet DJ, he's crying. He's crying. He said he wants to talk to you. Where's DJ? Where's the crybaby at? Oh, there he is right there. He wants to talk to his dad, Val. I mean, Val didn't ask to be his dad. Okay. Yeah, he didn't accept that request. But
I bet he didn't.
He didn't want W, Val.
Here's the thing. We've got real problems in this country today. We're going after people indiscriminately. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get them out of this country. We have a Supreme Court that is allowing this. We have against everything our Constitution stands for. We have American citizens getting caught up in this. Just like the video he played earlier. In this, you know what I'm saying? In we have American citizens getting caught up. This is what happens. And this is what I told you ages ago, DJ, and people just like you. If you break the Constitution for one, it affects us all and makes us all susceptible.
W, Val. Get him, Val. This is what we're talking about. None of us are going to sit back idly by and watch them just totally destroy the country by ignoring the Constitution.
Right. These things need to stop. This is what, DJ, I gave up on you long ago. But if there's any amount of a person in there that you should understand that the Constitution is static. Laws are made for a reason.
Amen.
And we actually used to be able to call us a country of laws.
No lies detected. No lies detected.
Used to.
Tell them, Val.
Okay. As long as these attacks are going on against the Constitution, as long as the 4th and 5th Amendment are being broke on a day, you know what I'm saying, on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis, actually, right now.
Talk to them.
As long as these things are going on, DJ, we are not going to stop. Hear me.
Amen. 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 Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you. All right. Someone please, Angus, go tell DJ to come back and get this behind whooping that we're administering. Don't get in here and get cooked and then run off. No. Endure the whole session. All right. W, Val. Thank you, brother. I might have to bring you back up if DJ does come back. I'm going to ask that you come back up here and totally just continue to dog walk him like you've been doing it. Right? He loves it when you dog walk him. I've never seen somebody love to get dog walked. Right, W, Val?
So there's a little bit of sadist in everyone.
So true. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go. All right. We got a great lineup. I can tell already. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great lineup. I see a lot of amazing people coming up. Welcome. Hi, Kabira.
Good morning, Zeus. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing okay. What about you? There's an echo.
I'm all right. Can you hear me?
Echo.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do I sound clearer? Okay, good. I wanted to respond to a few things DJ had said. First of all, I'm doing okay, Zeus. I'm heading back home now. So I pulled over so I could speak with DJ. And so I'm hoping he hears this. DJ, first of all, we know Congress has to approve a war, all right? But what constitutes a war?
Is your blinker on? I can hear the blinker now. It's interrupting you.
Yeah. All right. Now, can you hear me now? Better?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what constitutes a war? It's armed conflict, for number one. Number two, we have something called the Geneva Code of Convention. Zeus, I'm pretty sure your father knows what the Geneva Code of Convention is. It lets service members know how to conduct themselves during a war. All right. So what we have going on in the Caribbean seas, it's not a war. What's happening is they're taking a criminal activity and making it into a war. This is what's happening. And that is what we have our Coast Guard for and the criminal justice system for. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting. We had another boat strike, I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And this boat strike was in the Pacific. I said, well, what boat is in the Pacific? Did it come from Japan? I think they're just blowing up anything. But remember, Zeus, about a month ago, when it was ruled that Trump had to release those Epstein files, Trump was on Air Force One, and they got him on tape saying, I don't care if I have to start a war. Those tapes are not going to be released. If I go down, I'm taking everyone down with me. Do you remember hearing that?
Yep, I do. Yep.
Okay.
I do.
So I mean, DJ, you can sugarcoat it and make yourself feel good at night. You know, Val brought up another good point. Where is the evidence? If you blow those boats up out of the water, the product is going to dissipate in the water. So you've destroyed the evidence if there was any product on those boats. And then Tom Cotton, I'm pretty sure you heard what Tom Cotton said. They were going to get back into the fight. They were going to flip the boat back over and save the product and call it in for help. I said, this is some fairy tale business, what's going on right here. And the sad part about it is people like DJ will believe it. When you blow up a boat with a missile, there's nothing left to that boat. Maybe a few pieces of whatever a boat is made out of, wood or fiberglass. That the product is not going to be there because it's been dissipated throughout the water, if it was any product there. So this whole thing is a kabacle. It's just a big nasty mess. I'm ashamed to say I'm an American. It's just awful. I'm driving back down to SoCal, and I said to myself, God, I wish I had Rosie O'Donnell's money because I surely would have left this country. This is horrible. The rest of the world is looking at us like we've lost our minds. We have lost our mind. No, MAGA has lost their minds. White tea people who act like DJ have lost their minds. They're dragging us down this pit of hell with them. And I just don't like it. I just don't like it, Zeus. I hate what's going on right now. And some things need getting rid of. And Pete Hegseth, he can tether himself on the Trump with that some things. And I'm done.
Wow. W. Kabira. There's an echo, but I got you in, all right?
Okay, so I'm gonna go, Zeus, because I'm trying to make it back home by at least 1. I'm not gonna fudge on my time. I'm gonna be an honest bit. I went to the Dead Fish again. I went to the Dead Fish 3 times. So, yeah, that was dinner last night.
Well, listen, it was an honor to have you and take time out of your day. So we'll catch up with you, all right, and drive safe.
Oh yeah, you folks take it easy. Bye-bye, Zeus.
W's in the chat for Kabira. We made it work. All right. We had a little bit of an echo, but she got it in. Thank you. And like I said, drive safe, W. Kabira. No lies detected. Yeah, they report these accounts and they get mad at us because we tell the truth. But you know what? We're going to keep telling the truth, ladies and gentlemen, whether they want to hear it or not. All right, let's bring up our good friend, the beautiful Jim. Oh, there's Takesha. I've been wondering where you at, Takesha. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Quack, 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 quack.
That's so funny. You heard him say that.
Yeah, I just thought I'd speak the language that DJ understands, which is to speak in duck, because
Yeah.
this administration's laying a lot of rotten fool's gold eggs.
Yeah.
And folks on that side are buying it. So
Mhm.
that's the first thing, is that when you walk like a duck and you talk like a duck and you waddle like a duck and you follow the duck poop, you tend to be the very duck that is involved in the corruption that is this administration. So let's be very clear. And it's interesting he would use that phrase, considering that we know that the world is watching and knows the crimes that have been committed by this administration and the feckless Republican Party who has allowed it to happen. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You know, one of the and by the way, Val, it's masochism in DJ's case, not the S part of the S&M. It's masochist.
Go ahead.
Got to correct my buddy, because we like facts.
Fair enough. I understand it.
But let's talk a second about the person that you put on the picture about saving immigrants and helping immigrants, but voted for Trump, shall we?
Yes.
There's an actual behavioral science term called hero syndrome. And so this administration and MAGA in general, who talk about doing things to help communities, like these big mega churches. I should just call them MAGA churches now. These big MAGA churches that like collect food and clothing and send them to Peru or send them to, Ecuador, and they make themselves feel like they're doing something good to help the poor people, right? They're the very people voting to harm these people. So let's look at it from a firefighter's perspective, shall we?
Yeah.
If your whole goal of becoming a public servant is to help the people, if you become a firefighter, but you're setting the fires and then you're trying to put them out so that you get the heroes rewards, the lifting up in society, the front door page of the paper that hits the porch, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing that, you're not the hero, you are the criminal. Bingo. Stealing actual accolades that heroes should receive. The people who put themselves in harm's way,
Amen.
Like our veterans, like the people that are protecting the immigrants that voted against harming them to begin with.
Wow.
See, that's a true hero. A true hero knows to put the rights of people before themselves. A true hero understands that they get up the next day and slay again. They don't sit there and go in front of the news media and pat themselves on the back saying, only I can solve this problem.
Amen.
The true hero just does it without the accolades.
Amen.
The true hero feeds the homeless without the paparazzi flashing. The true hero goes through their closet every year and donates clothes and doesn't even think twice about what the cost of those were. The true hero offers the care, like the doctors within borders or without borders, right?
Yeah,
Those are the people that dedicate their time. The dentists that go and open clinics and offer free care.
Yeah.
Those are the heroes in our society.
Yes.
You know who else are the heroes? The everyday American citizens that pay their taxes, unlike the person behind you, who this group of Republicans claimed was so smart because he found loopholes. Well, those loopholes have now been extended to the richest, the greediest of our society over the neediest of our society once again. So those loopholes harm the very country they claim to love.
Preach.
Those of us who get up and go to work every day, those of us who dedicate time and effort and money to our communities, those of us who don't donate to cancer research or St. Jude's or whatever thing that stirs your soul to help the communities, those are the everyday heroes. The people that are trying to get over on the system, those are not your heroes.
Nope.
Those going in front of the media and claiming that they alone can do what it takes hundreds of thousands of people to do collectively, it's gross. And one more thing about these boats, right?
Go ahead.
While you were talking, because I really wasn't planning to come up, but I adore you. I watch you every day. But
well, we love you, and we understand you can't always come up, but when you do, it's a blessing.
I thank you for that, and thank you. I just want to make this point, and then I'll go on my sentiment roll. Do you remember the Iran-Contra affair?
I remember it vaguely. I don't know all the details, but I
Okay.
know of it. Yes.
So for everybody in here, the 1.3 thousand people in here, do yourself a favor and look up the Iran-Contra affair and look at the party who was in control during the Iran-Contra affair and educate yourself on how long this war on substances has been going on. Yes, Miss Obvious, the CIA was involved in those substance trafficking situations under Reagan in this government with Ollie North in those substance trafficking situations under Reagan in this government with Ollie North at the helm. And Ollie North went on to run the National Rifle Association also. So make sure if you're going to talk about history, DJ, that you have an idea of what you're talking about, because it is the Republican Party that has repeatedly harmed this nation with corruption, harmed this nation with lies and degradation, harmed this country with racism and misogyny, harmed this nation with substance abuse trafficking and arms dealing. Let's be very clear that the very cartel that you are talking against, that you're so excited people are being harmed by, we, the Americans, have literally given them the arms that harm our people. And there would not be a need for substances if the American people were not demanding said substances.
Wow.
So let's be clear of where it all seems to start. You have a healthcare system that literally cannot access the actual pain medications that people need, and they're in pain and they're suffering because of all these ridiculous drugs that they put out, they took away from society. So then you end up getting the F drug brought into our country to help people in their mindset to do it on their own, and it causes harm. The Iran-Contra affair led to the crack situation in this country. So let's be very, very clear about the cracks in our system, and I'll use that collectively. The cracks in our system all started with the Republican Party doing the degradation to our nation, lying and trying to make money about it. Don't believe me? Go read the Iran-Contra affair and the CIA and their trafficking of substances and arms deals through Iran. Oh, did I say Iran? Yes, I did. Isn't that a full circle moment?
Oh, don't do it, Jim. Don't do it, because a lot of these, especially Blaga, they seem to be working for this goal that the Republicans are putting in place to entrap them. It's like, wow, slugs.
I'm dropping straight facts, y'all. I'm dropping 100% knowledge that you yourself can go research. So let's pull it back to modern day. You've got a man who claims to hate alcoholism, but puts a man who's an alcoholic that's in control of dropping boom booms on people with no evidence and nothing to prove that they're doing anything to this country. But even if they were, they don't even know who's supposed to be handling it. They think the U.S. military is supposed to be handling it. No, it's supposed to be the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is the one that is supposed to be handling any part of that coming in, not Hegseth, not the Pentagon handling it from the sky in drones. It's supposed to be the Coast Guard going out and making sure that they confirm there is a crime happening against this country. That has not been proven. These are war crimes. This will go down in history as the U.S. committing war crimes. And every single Republican that allowed this to happen and did not stand up to impeach or take these people out of the positions of power that they are in are responsible. And anybody defending it, history will not be kind to the DJs and the Danes of the world. History will not be kind to people who literally provided the open door. And I cannot believe he literally said, if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, while supporting the biggest, fattest duck on the planet, the orange mallard.
That tickles me.
I just can't. I can't with you people. It's just mind-boggling. And I don't even want to have debates with MAGA anymore, because at this point, there is no redemption for y'all. There's none. History will know exactly who you are by your words and your deeds against migrants, against the BIPOC community, against women,
Amen.
against LGBTQIA.
Amen.
History will
Amen.
not be kind, and sins of the father weigh heavy on the child.
Hey.
Every one of you is going to
Demons.
reap what you've sowed.
Tell him, Jim. Tell him.
You
No
just
lies
called me
detected.
Val. How
I almost
cute.
called her Val, but I caught
know.
myself. But that's why I'm humble, because I almost got it wrong, and I said, "Oh my God!" But you're cooking and booking very well. I love it.
On another note, so many of your followers have reached out to say that they have seen me on your lives and heard about the loss of my mother. So I just wanted to make it a point to come and thank you, and thank Ange and Don Mosier and Kabira and Keisha and Shay and Val and so many others in here that have sent me beautiful, beautiful messages of condolences. And for those of you who interacted with my mom often on lives or heard her, I thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of my family. And I want to remind people, especially during this season, that take time to spend with your loved ones. Take time to say, I love you. Take time to share stories. Grieve, because grief is about the love we've had in this life.
Yeah.
And she was greatly loved. And I am so blessed to have been there when she took her final breath. And I am grateful for the moments I had. And I just want to encourage people that we only get one life. We get one. And even in that life where we make mistakes and we have harms or we do things, forgive, because we forgive not only for the other person, we forgive for ourselves to not carry the bitterness with us through this life. And that's the greatest gift that you can give to yourself and to others, is to forgive. And on a special thank you to Angela. Angela, you already know I'm going to keep this between you and I, but this morning I woke up to your letter, and I just want to thank you, because sometimes the tears get stuck because I'm so busy doing the other stuff. And sometimes you just need that little extra push to let yourself know that it's okay to cry again and to let it flow. And so when you're going through this process, grieve, cry, feel every feeling there is, and know that that love is going to carry on through how the legacy lives. And so, and Zeus, it's not lost on me that you've showed up in the 2 lives that I've had to say hello and send me love. I appreciate it so much. And this community has given me so much in the last 5 days. So I thank you for the words of encouragement, even when she was sick. And in her passing, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all a beautiful holiday season. Hug your loved ones. Tell them that you love them, and celebrate life.
Come on in, give Big Zeus a hug, Jim. Thank you. I just gotta say, I've been, it's, you meant so much to me personally and a lot of people. Thank you for doing what you've done on this platform and sharing what you know. I do see how close you were to your mom too, and I just, I remember the last time you were, you came up, and I think you were in the hospital, were you? And then it's kind of all, it's kind of all coming together that you've really done a lot to help, myself while you're dealing with supporting your mom. And I just wanted to say thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart too. If there's anything that I can personally do to help out, to help you get through this, I don't mind doing that. But I do recognize it's, important to give you the space that you need in these kind of moments. And I also am very appreciative of the fact that even while that's been happening, you still made it a point to at least keep myself and many of the other people out there very, very updated on what you're dealing with, and actually hosting a live and letting us know you're okay. And I think your brother's with you too. So
my brother came down.
Neat. Yeah. It just shows, like, we're all in this together. No one's perfect, like you said, and we're all humans, and we got to deal with, the reality of that comes with life.
Yeah. My brother not only came down, he bought me a a monitor and a camera so I could start going live from the desktop because I'm visually impaired. So I do all of this just from my phone.
Okay.
And I thought that was so sweet. He's like, no, I want to encourage you to keep going.
Good, good. That's a
that
good
was,
brother.
he,
Wow.
he
W to
spoiled
your
me.
brother.
Yeah.
W to your brother. I got to give him a round of applause for that because, you know, you have a gift. You got to use it. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the people that are in your family, they love it and they'll support you. And you just got to keep living up to, you know, all the stuff they've invested in you. All right. Because that's what this is honestly all about, too. You know, your mom.
Well, I don't think people knew. I retired on the 21st of November to take care of my mom full time. I was already doing it full time, but I retired to take care of her, and she collapsed the very next day.
Wow.
And then she left on the 30th, and so my official retirement date was the 1st of December, and she let me walk into retirement with nothing to do.
Wow.
So
she's looking out for you. You know what I mean? I mean, that's one incredible W to Jim's mom. Real love. This is pure love. A mother's love is undeniable. And I don't know. Do you get a lot of your personality from your mom's? Is that where you're getting most of this from, or is it?
No, actually, well, I won't say no. The politics, yeah, my mom was a staunch Democrat who, but my mom was 85, right? So she lived in a very different era.
Lady boss. Wow.
Yeah, she lived in a different era. So,
Yeah.
you know, through TikTok, this is going to blow you guys away. Through TikTok, one day she hated when I would get into battles with MAGA because she was like, don't lower your standards. You know, did the whole Michelle Obama go high, you know.
Yeah.
And then she heard somebody call me a bunch of filthy names, and she was like, "Oh, get him, go, release that extrovert."
Yeah.
And so,
good. So
my
she's
mom
about that action. She's about that action. That's good. That's good. That's where you get it from. Then I get it.
Yeah, my mom heard a debate I was in one day, and she looked over at me and she said, "No, I had credit cards. I had a house. I owned a house." You know, she was, you know, and I looked at her. I said, "Mama, you did not have a house. Your husband had a house that your father bought for you." No, Mama, you didn't have credit cards. Your husband allowed you to have credit cards in the 60s. Women were not allowed to have credit cards until 1974. They were not allowed to own businesses. They were not allowed to own houses. This is not a long time ago. I was born in 1971, you guys, and in 1974 is when women were allowed. Allowed is the word. The men were controlling everything. Your father, your brother, or your husband had to allow you to have access to credit, had to allow you to have a home. You didn't get to have those things. And I want to also point out the other interesting factor about leaving nurses off of the professional list, or mental health off of the professional list, and teachers.
Yeah.
Those are all predominantly women positions. They were mostly women doing those jobs, not men. And so those nurses, that was a direct impact to attack the professionals that are women, to say that they were not worthy of being called professionals.
Wow.
I will tell you that in the 8 days, it's 5 days of grief. I was in the hospital with her for 8 days. That I was in that hospital. My mom had the best all-female medical team that did everything they could, from echocardiograms to CT scans to new cardiac meds to keeping her comfortable, IVs, CT scans, blood workups, everything they could do to try and find the source of the things she was experiencing.
Wow.
The majority of her nurses were women. We have the ability in our society to uplift these women because they are brilliant, like the Dr. Keishas, like the Dr. Sharons, like the Dr. Leslies. We have a responsibility in our society to uplift the women in these professional fields, to ensure that they are being honored and respected because they are brilliant. They are hard studied. They are dominant in the healthcare system. So if you do not understand what you are doing, you are literally allowing your healthcare system to harm be harmed by this administration. And that is why we are seeing rampant outbreaks of food issues, rampant outbreaks of viruses, rampant outbreaks of harm to our children right now.
Facts.
Lift up your public health community, lift up your doctors and nurses and your mental health professionals to the nth degree. I love you. I love all of you. Please, everybody, do your due diligence. Come prepared in these lives. Look up the Iran-Contra affair. Understand that we are in this together. I am grieving right now, but I am not out of the fight. I am here. I am preparing. I am battle ready because this is not over. Something is on a horizon that is going to be an atrocity that's going to occur before a shift of conscience is going to happen. And we have to be ready to fight for our nation collectively. We the people, for the people, all the people.
Amen.
I love you.
All right. Love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Jim just graced us with a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Let's give her a huge round of applause. You don't get, this is community building right here at its finest. Thank you all, right? You all been helping us keep this thing together, but she's totally right. She's totally right. W's in the chat for Jim. I'm serious. All right, Jim.
Love you. Take care, everybody.
All right, you too. All righty then. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as you all can see, isn't that incredible? We spread real love, not hate on this show, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what, honestly, this is all about. As much as I get on Donald Trump, it's really a door. It's really, like, when I talk about Trump, it's really a door into a lot of other areas, right? And we touch on all of them on this show because we understand that in order to save this great country of ours, you have to address what's happening in America. And I would also like to add this. What I'm noticing, especially with the MAGA male species, a lot of you have anger issues, and I'm thinking about opening up another section of my platform to dealing with the men out here who have serious anger issues. You got to calm down and understand that, none of that stuff really is going to help you. If you're upset and you drill down 9 times out of 10, especially when they're MAGA, the reason you're upset is because Donald Trump. W's in the chat for Zeus. The reason a lot of you MAGA men are upset 9 times out of 10, it's because Donald Trump has somehow done something and you don't understand how it's having a direct impact on you. Or you might even understand it, but now you're upset with yourself because you allowed yourself to be played like a fiddle, so to speak. And then at the end of the day, Big Zeus was right. At the end of the day, I'm right. I'm talking to the MAGA male species out there. Hey, DJ, where did you go? I was going to bring you back up here. I thought you were going to let Brother Val do what he needed to do and cook you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Is that Antifa? Okay, W's in the chat for Nutty. Hey, Nutty. I think there's something going on with the connection. W's Ange, yes. You said F DJ. DJ is not a liked person. That's so funny. Yeah, he's really hated. Nutty, good morning. Hey, Nutty, are you on that Antifa Wi-Fi or something? Yeah, I can't hear you, Nutty. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't hear Nutty. Something is wrong with the man's Wi-Fi. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll bring up the next panelist. I don't know, but Nettie, get on some stronger Wi-Fi. Get on that Zeus Wi-Fi. Good morning, Antonia. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to. I heard DJ earlier, and he's one of the worst of MAGA because all they do is make excuses after excuses after excuses for this horrible regime we have currently.
Yeah.
Regarding the boats in the Caribbean, how can we say they have pharmaceuticals when we have no evidence?
None.
When has being a smug dealer been an unaliving sentence? When? Because then there's a lot of people sitting in prison then that shouldn't be sitting in there.
Yeah.
Then if it is some sort of plan to stop these pharmaceuticals, wouldn't you want to catch those individuals and grill them and ask them, where are you getting these pharmaceuticals? Who's making these pharmaceuticals? You want to catch those individuals and grill them and ask them, where are you getting these pharmaceuticals? Who's making these pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, that's common sense. What you just said. That's common sense. If we're trying to really get to the root cause.
Why would you want to do that? Then we have a boat that even Mr. Kegsbreath said was on fire and he tried to say it had, what did he say? Smog or whatever, and you couldn't tell. Then how do we know they were trying to climb back on? I never knew people want to climb back onto things that are on fire and in pieces.
Yeah. No lies detected. Go ahead. You're hitting them with it.
And if this is to save the American people and the American children, how come we've been trying to cover up these files and not put these people in prison who abused women and children? Why are we covering up files and having files redacted and doing everything we possibly can so the American public doesn't see who these horrible humans were? Why is he okay with that? Why is he okay with a president who's falling asleep and we know he's got dementia because he's getting little IV injections of Alzheimer's medication?
Yeah.
But he's okay with a president whose names are all over those files because we know he likes Bubba.
Mm-hmm. Bubba. You know who that is. MAGA knows who Bubba is, and don't pretend like you don't. We got a serious national security issue, Antonia, in the White House, wouldn't you say? Because, you sit back and you start thinking, is Donald Trump really signing all of these pardons?
Pardons? He's given pardons to over 1,600 criminals. We have DJ telling us he's the law and order president. He's getting everybody. We're sitting here committing war crimes, which we're not even in a war, so we're just committing schmurder. We have the UK who will no longer give us intelligence because whatever we're doing with that intelligence, we're not doing the correct thing.
Bingo.
We have countries that want nothing to do with us, but he's okay with us unaliving people. How would he like if his family was going out fishing and they never came back because, they're schmug dealers?
Yeah. Good point.
But he's okay hiding P3DOs. He's okay having these people in our government who harmed women and children. And let's not forget, they were children. I don't care if they're 30 and 40-year-old women today. They were children. And he's saying this is the best president. How about those job losses? How about small businesses? We have over an 11% increase year over year of companies filing for bankruptcy. Small businesses are dying right now. They are not able to make it in this economy. And he's telling us this is the best president. DJ needs to wake up and stop riding Trump's pole at this point and wake up his eyes and see how he's destroying this country. And stop simping for P3DOs and people committing crimes.
Bingo. There you go. W. Antonia.
Law and order president and over 1,600 pardons. That's like over 10 presidents combined haven't given those many pardons.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, when you said what you said, DJ riding his pole, I said, wow, that's the best way to describe it. Because a lot of these Trump voters, they have an obsession with Grindr. You know that?
It seems to crash every time they all congregate together.
Yeah. And so their lies are being exposed and their sins, they will be revealed. And we know exactly what they are. And they really do need to get help. But, I got to say thank you, Antonia. You did a great job. You hurt DJ's feelings. Do you feel bad about that? You're hurting his feelings. You don't feel...
He's too dumb to have feelings at this point. I've just never seen somebody who is okay with all these crimes being committed and then saying, well, it's okay because he's trying to save the American public. If Trump wanted to save the American public, he wouldn't be crashing our economy at the moment. We wouldn't be putting P3DOs up.
Oh, you got a violation.
Violation.
We're going to go ahead and move it. Oh, W's in the chat for Antonia. See? Oh, look at that. The demons are getting very, very worked up.
If you're not happy
Remember
here,
I said this?
then you
Remember
can
I said
leave.
this to you,
As
man?
far as I'm
Don't do
concerned,
that.
if you hate our country, If you're not happy here, you can leave.
W,
If
Dolphin.
you're not happy in the U.S.,
Thank
if you're
you.
complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave.
Why-
You can leave right now.
Yeah, don't come in here and
Come
start
back
crying,
if you want.
MAGA.
Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Don't come onto my show. Don't come into my live acting like a bunch of crybabies. W. Antonia. Oh, yes. Welcome, Ange. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's an awesome show, wouldn't you say? We've been cooking and booking, and then we had Jim come up here and just,
Yes.
gave you a nice shout out. Did you hear what she said?
It's partly why I came up.
Oh.
Because out of thousands upon thousands of people that absolutely love Jem, to have her come up here and shout me out for my DM this morning. I just woke up with her on my heart and in my mind, and I also know what it's like to lose a parent in a similar way. You go into a hospital thinking they're coming out, and they don't. So to back up Jem, definitely, forgive if you got to forgive somebody, and yeah, I'm going to stop because I don't want to cry. But anyway, I love you, Jem. Thank you so much. And you have. Did I get a violation?
You got a misinformation violation too. Wow. Well, we love you. We
Oh,
love
for
you,
heaven's
Jen.
sakes! Well,
Your haters are here, Ange. Wow.
I shouldn't have come in on my main. Thank you.
All right, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Wow. W's in the chat for Ange. She put her entire account at risk. And these haters. I mean, wow. Lady Boss. Lady Boss, you're an amazing one. You're very amazing. Thank you for all the support, Lady Boss. I just don't know how you do it. Seriously. Wow. We're going to try to get through. I mean, we're going to try to get as far as we can. This thing is getting too hot to handle. Nutty, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I
I
thought
can
it was
hear
a
you.
joke. I thought it was a joke when you said I should get that Zeus Wi-Fi. That was funny.
It
That-
sounds
that
like
made-
you're on Zeus Wi-Fi now, bro.
that made me laugh, brother. I needed that laugh, so thank you for that laugh.
You're welcome. You're welcome, bro. But yeah, that Zeus Wi-Fi is hitting hard right now. W Nutty, ladies and gentlemen. I told him to go get it. He went and got it. He came back better than ever. Seriously.
Listen, it's a full-time job having little brother complex, isn't it?
You Rick. Thank you,
little,
Rick.
Little brother complex. Listen, I know you want to be me when you grow up, but you can't be me, Zeus. You can't be me. But listen, what I wanted to tell you is something interesting. I guess I missed DJ when he was up here.
Yeah.
Because I challenged him. I told him, I said, the next time you step foot in the kingdom, I need you to tell the truth, and I need you to get up there and unequivocally state that you disagree with Donald Trump without BS excuses for him. And he said he would. And from what I'm hearing now, he didn't do that.
Oh, let's get DJ back here. I'm going to send him an invite.
Because he didn't do that. Because we were on another live, and it was just he and I. And I asked him, we talked about the boats.
Yeah.
We talked about them not having evidence that these boats were smuggling shrugs. We talked about if they had the evidence, Zeus, they would more than happy be giving it to the American people. But they don't have evidence. That's why we're not seeing evidence. And he kept saying, well, Nutty, you may be right. Well, no, I'm not maybe right. I am right.
W Nutty, ladies and gentlemen. And I've sent DJ multiple invites. He's not coming back. He's been totally obliterated today.
I don't care if he comes back or not because I'm throwing him under the bus.
Hey.
No, I'm driving the damn bus today because I'm sick of DJ.
Hey.
I'm sick of DJ because I specifically told DJ. I said, DJ, you want to know why people don't like you? It's because you pull stupid shit like this.
Oh, wow.
You pull this crap. You know the truth. You are smart enough to understand and comprehend, but yet you keep getting in here. Give me all the growls, Zeus, because I'm on one this morning.
Okay.
Because
Well, yeah,
DJ has set me off.
Okay.
You know the truth, and you keep on putting your thumb on excuses for Donald Trump. That makes you worse than Donald Trump because you know the man is a habitual liar. You know this regime is not good for the country, and you don't care. You don't care. So he was like, yes, you're right. No, you're right. I'm like, get in the kingdom. I'm like, because this live that we're on right now It only has 60 people in it.
W lady boss.
I need you to get in where there's over 1,000 people so you can tell the truth and shame the devil.
Amen.
This is why people don't like you, DJ. Not because you voted for Donald Trump. That's a stain within itself. But the fact that you are disingenuous. We had this conversation just 2 days ago. Trying to be nice to ignorance. You cannot be nice to ignorance.
You can't. You can't. He's W nutty. He's not lying. You had that literal conversation with this man, and he got up in here and tore his drawers with us again. This is some crazy stuff we got going on in America, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize to the rest of the world, honestly. I apologize that you have to watch us deal with these MAGA demons that are clearly just a total, they're a national security risk. They're a total embarrassment. And I'm ashamed, like Kabira said, I'm actually ashamed at this point to say I'm from the United States. What a disgrace.
I actually told DJ, I said, DJ, you voting for Trump, it comes with a lot of penance, but it can be forgiven.
Yeah.
But what can't be forgiven is when you get up in these boxes and you play and you spit in her face.
Mm-hmm.
That cannot be forgiven. And this is why you're always going to catch ullets. Put a B on the ullets. That's why you're going to catch them from me. From here on until the end of eternity, until you get your nasty behind off this app, you're going to catch straight ullets from me.
You're talking metaphorically, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right. I just had to clean that up. I just had to.
And the fact that you even had to clean that up because we got ignorant folks out there, that's a shame within itself.
Yeah. They don't understand the culture a little bit, but I know there's a lot of fragile people out there. We're not promoting any of that. It's really just a metaphor, ladies and gentlemen. And that's my good friend, Brother Nutty.
Absolutely not. But I told DJ, this is why people don't like you, because you are not honest.
Yeah.
You're not honest. You're out of all the MAGAs that we deal with, you're one that we can actually have a conversation with. Yeah. We can actually have a conversation with you. We don't ever agree with what you have to say, but we can have a conversation with you, and you try to comprehend a little bit.
Yeah.
I even gave him the compliment and tell him that he's not like other MAGAs.
You said that to him?
I said that to him, Zeus.
Wow, that's kind.
But
that's
DJ,
kind. I couldn't do it. Yeah.
DJ, here's my confession. I lied. You're just like every other MAGA. You're just like, in fact, DJ, you are worse. You are worse than every other MAGA because they don't have two cents
really
enough to understand anything. You understand, so that makes you even worse than the other MAGAs.
Wow, Hey, man, you got listen. W's nutty. I can't believe it.
So let me get on out of here, and I want to piggyback. I want to piggyback on what Ann said.
Yeah.
Jim, we love you. We love you. Our hearts goes out to you.
Yeah.
And you keep your head up and be the strong person that you are. Because your mother is always looking out for you.
Amen.
I lost my mother 2 years ago now.
Oh,
well, going on 3 years, 3 years ago now. And life without a mom, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But this too will pass.
Amen.
The hurt will never pass in itself, but focus on the memories that make you smile. Focus on the good. Though that's what we have to live on from here until eternity. And when I think about my mom, when I think about my grandparents, those are the three closest people in my entire life. When I think about them, they make me smile. And eventually, in your own time, you will get there too. So you take the time to grieve your mother because she deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. So we love you, and we're definitely praying for you. Thank you, Zeus. Have a good day, man.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. That's nutty. Yeah. Wise words, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Hi, Shay. How are you?
Hey, I'm
Hey.
good. Thanks for letting me up 2 seconds. I just wanted to tell, first of all, love you, Jim. Love you, love you, love you. And all our hearts are with you,
Yeah.
sweetheart. But what I wanted to ask DJ is, so one of the boats that they sank, there were 2 survivors, one Colombian and one Ecuadorian. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And instead of sending them to prison because they are known cartel, correct?
Correct.
That's what we think is going on, right? That's what we know, according to DJ,
Yeah.
right? They got sent home
Yeah.
back to their own countries.
Yeah.
They didn't get sent to CCOT. Weird.
Where you at, DJ?
They did not get picked up and put into prison or are facing trial because of what they're doing is wrong, and they're known cartel, and they're bringing Coca-Cola or the F drug to our shores. Shouldn't they be facing trial? Why were they just sent back home, DJ, if they blew up the boat because they had smugs on board?
Because there was not enough evidence to get a prosecution, right? So they knew that the right thing to do was to try to make.
No, because they were fishermen.
Bingo.
Yeah, they were innocent fishermen. In fact, one of the guys, the Colombian, his family is suing.
Good.
Yeah. So, and the Colombian president is saying this has to stop, and they're going to be doing stuff. So, DJ, if you're here, I would love for you to answer that question that if what they're doing is what you think they've told you they're doing, then why did those 2 guys just get sent home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just think about that, DJ. And, it would behoove you to actually look things up so that you understand the rug cartels and the trade and where they're coming from and what rugs are coming from what and who actually is pushing the Coca-Cola versus the F drug.
Yeah.
And all of that and the China relation and the actual border and that the rugs are being come through our border because of Americans.
Yep.
Americans are the traffickers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a known fact.
There you go. Tell them, Shay.
Yep. All right. Not innocent little fishermen on boats.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. That's all. That's the only point I wanted to make because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
DJ.
And so you're basically saying you don't buy anything DJ was selling, not a little bit
never.
None of it?
No, he voted for Trump to hurt people, get people out of the country. He believes anything Trump does and says, in between his naps that he's taking, he believes all that, and that's all. That he's never going to change his mind. And Gavin Newsom, I'll tell you one thing I don't like about him. He went to the French Laundry during COVID.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have done that. There you go, DJ. See, we can say there are things that we don't agree that Gavin does at times, right? That is counterproductive to what he said.
Yeah.
And he got raked over the coals for it and called out for it.
Yeah, and we can talk about how he's not addressed the housing situation out here in California.
Sure.
I mean, if we need to.
Absolutely.
If I need to.
We can say
but
that.
But that pales in comparison because, it's so easy to point out where a person's imperfect. But when you say what Donald Trump is doing is way more dangerous.
Oh, 100%.
That part, W. Shay. See, DJ doesn't want to admit that. Dangerous joker.
And he's not going to hire podcast bros as his Secretary of Defense or head of FBI, who are about to be both impeached and removed from the cabinet.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that stuff. Yeah.
Tell him, Shay. Shay. He doesn't want to get up here and defend this with his, with his self.
No,
all right, W's in the
he
chat.
doesn't. All right. Thank you, sweetheart. I just wanted to make a quick point. And that is it. And you're the best, as always. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.
All right. Love you too. Oh, wow. Oh, look at who we got, ladies and gentlemen. We have Ange. Ange, you decided that you wanted to make another reappearance. You better be careful, Ange.
2 more seconds. I don't care. Part of it is, Mega, you can keep trying. I'm not going away. I'll just keep making more accounts. I've been rocking with Zeus and everybody in here for over 4 years. I'm not going away. So anyway, all I had to say was, I don't know if you saw Pete Hegseth there and how the Turning Point guy had said, hey, what was he said? Every narco boat that's gone, to the bottom of the ocean makes me happy. Yada, yada. And Pete Kegsbreath said, your wish is our command. Andrew, I just sunk another one. That's MAGA for you. And I think that was, last thing, I love your idea on addressing the angry MAGA men. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's all I had. You're not
you.
shutting me. You're not shutting me down, MAGA. I'm not going
Yes.
away. I don't know what the misinformation was, but last thing, FDJ. Bye.
W Ange. Yeah, and I got an Ange here, right? Because now I'm at a moment now where if you're not even mature enough to have the conversation, then it's not even worth having, because now we're getting into all of this other stuff when it's just like, no, all I'm trying to do is see if you are willing to be honest and straight up about simple things. And then as soon as you find out they get angry and they start saying nasty things, I don't want to see any of these men out here, saying insulting things to women, even if it's a woman on the right. I still don't even want to see it. And then I have to stand up for the women on the right and say, listen, don't allow this guy to say this to you at all, because you might not get it, or maybe, it's just never a good look. And so, yeah, I might have to open up the closet of truth to W. Zeus and help a lot of the MAGA men understand, number one, control your anger, all right? Because you can get a lot of places in life without having to do that, all right? And then show them other strategies, and then maybe I'll help them get out of this nasty cult that they've, found themselves in. So, huge W, Zeus. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, Big Zeus has to get up out of here. What an incredible show. You all have been amazing and incredible. Have a great weekend, yeah. Thank you. Hey, you can be anywhere else, but you're here with us. Thank you, Lady Boss. Hammer time! I want to give a special thank you to every single one of you, and especially the subscribers, the gifters, and the moderators and the panelists. Again, without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. It's definitely entertaining, it's definitely engaging, and it's definitely very, very educational. Y'all deserve it, seriously. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you all know exactly who these booze and shame goes out to. WVIP. Thank you. No, thank you. Without you, there's no me. I mean, listen, God bless you. A lot of these people, when I show up, especially when I go into the right spaces, they really, and I said, maybe Donald Trump is right, and I get where he got it from, but he's like, they're not really after me. They're after you, right? But I just so happen to be standing in the way. Seriously, I'm going, why are you crying about what the people in the comment section are saying? And they say, well, Zeus, you got to understand, they're your followers. And I said, no, number one, these aren't my followers. These are free-thinking individuals. They just happen to tune into the Rizzler when he's up here cooking and booking, but they got an opinion about you, and they have formed it on their own. I have never instructed anybody on my platform to form an opinion about anybody else on this app. A lot of the times, a lot of you are very brilliant, and you figure this stuff out on your own. I just happen to connect the dots. I just connect dots, right? And y'all do it to me, and it is what it is. But everyone knows. They say, well, Zeus, as much as I don't like you, I do recognize you cut from a different cloth. You are a rare breed, and I am a rare breed. You better wake up and realize it. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire one last time and give it another Lake of Fire to all the Zeus haters out there. They know who they are. The truth isn't in them. That's just where we're at as a country. The truth isn't in them, and they love being lied to. They love being manipulated. They love being taken advantage of, all the way until all of a sudden it's harming them. And then they go, oh, well, that doesn't feel so good. Well, you were laughing when it was happening to everybody else, but now that it's happening to you, it's not so funny. Like I said, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them to hell one last time.
I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
You're not doing well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power. Pull some strings. And level up like a king.
Let's go!
Came from the trenches, now we
Ladies! Thank you. Getting real different. 1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. No Stevie, W. Cindy. make these clowns pay for all the shade.
Got the game in a choke.
Now my legacy hitting is bespoke. From the Bay to DC, I keep them on their toes. W.R. Ray.
Ghosted all the fakes.
Now my circle's A1. Moving 100, yeah, this race is already won.
Bet I'm dripping, got the power, vision, crystal clear.
Russia.
Yeah, make the history right here.
It's OC.
Talking loud, but they cannot cut the throne.
Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. VIP.
Got my foot on the
Wow, W Terra.
Checklist, presidential flex, got my hand on the necklace. Level up, you
taking over the spot.
Drip too clean, get it poppin'. We ain't gon' never stop.
No cap, we win. Yeah, flow on 1,000, 160, 105. Presidential, we found it. Posted in the Capitol, moving like I own the block. Riz game presidential, got the nation in a lock. HD clear slap with the moves, turn your dreams into chandeliers. I stay lurking, but they folded under all the pressure. 1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Trap soul in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing. Prime residential, got the poles in the climb. No cap, I'm the vibe, turn the calm in the storm. Got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out a song.
Strong rich, my codes unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable.
Hey, make the whole world flip. Busted off the charts, got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. 1600 Pennsylvania. It'll be out by Christmas. That's the goal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm out of here. W to all.